The developers for Worshippers of Cthulhu gave me the game key, so I get to talk about this and actually give you my honest opinions. In this game, you lead your very own cult dedicated to the great and terrifying Cthulhu. This game leans heavily into the city building genre. You're tasked with building a cult empire from the ground up, managing your followers, constructing buildings, and performing the great Eldritch rituals to earn favor with Cthulhu. It's surprisingly approachable for new players, and the game does a great job explaining the mechanics, so, if you're new to city builders, you won't feel too lost. Cult management was also deeper than I expected. Your followers aren't just faceless minions, they each have a personal skill that impacts production and faith, which makes assigning them to the right job really satisfying for you. You can promote followers from acolytes to disciples, boosting their effectiveness as well. That being said, I did run into some issues with the game's resource routing. Let's say you want to build multiple corn plantations on a different island. You'd expect your main island surplus to cover your needs, right? I thought that I could just have a surplus of corn and then, distribute it to actually cook corn on the main island. Well, due to the way resources are routed from storage units in this game, this doesn't work smoothly. I found myself having to maintain corn plantations on my main island, even though I had a surplus on the side island. So it was a bit frustrating and actually took away some of that flexibility and fun of expanding to other islands. Now let's talk about the Eldritch rituals really quick, and these things are core to everything progression. So you'll be carving totems and performing rituals to gain favor, which lets you unlock new buildings and altars. As you upgrade your totems and beacons, the rewards get better, and there's a solid sense of progression, especially on the tutorial island. There, you're balancing resource management, followers' needs, and Cthulhu's patience, all while defending from invaders and turning your followers into sea terrors. What I mean is, you can make a follower an Eldritch Horror, which is basically just this big sea creature. The sea combat is kind of mixed to me. You get to create these cool horrors, but they slowly die over time as you send them out to scavenge, for rewards or fight ships. It sounds awesome on paper, but in practice, the rewards you get from sending your horrors out feels underwhelming. On top of that, there's no option to auto-simulate your horrors, so you have to manually control them to get rewards. Or, they just end up dying and you just wasted their life because you didn't get anything from it. So it's a cool idea, but it quickly gets tedious, especially for the minimum payoff. However, the Lovecraftian atmosphere is cranked up to 120%. Everything feels eerie, and you can almost, taste the madness on the screen. Flesh carvings and sacrificing followers. Yeah, that's as unsettling as it sounds. You're physically doing these things to people, and it gives the game a really creepy edge that fits perfectly with the mythos. Surprisingly, the game is pretty linear. I was expecting more of a sandbox style game, but the main goal is to awaken Cthulhu, and everything moves toward that. And after the tutorial island, there's another scenario, and also at chapter 2. Content-wise, the tutorial island took me about 6 hours to complete, though I do take a very slow pace on city builders. So faster players or, impatient players might finish that in 4 or 5 hours. I didn't experience any major performance issues, but there is a bug with the saved game system. So after beating the tutorial island, it wouldn't let me start chapter 2 properly, forcing me to start a completely new game. So yeah, that was just a little frustrating. Overall, I had a great time with Worshippers of Cthulhu though. It met a lot of my expectations, but obviously there's some things that are underdone here. I think this is more for the experience of the Lovecraftian. I definitely was addicted while I was playing it. And of course, this game is perfect for the city building fans who, have a little dabble of love for the Lovecraft mythos. It's definitely a niche experience, you know, and it's a niche genre, it's a niche game, but if you're into that eerie atmosphere and, you know, cult management, you'll likely have a good time. Just know that some mechanics could use a little more polish. Next, hit that like button and subscribe and hit that bell notification so you don't miss out on any updates or game reviews from yours truly. Click on this cool video or on the playlist to review all of my recent game reviews, and as always, keep gaming and stay awesome.